Homeless, and I live in my van, and I experience the cold. Even if I'm in my van, it's very cold. So I can imagine for the people who don't have shelter. Nobody want to be outside. You know what I'm saying? If there's somewhere to go, I'm pretty sure that people would go there. But they don't leave us nowhere to go.
Tuesday night's frost advisory and the potential for rain on Wednesday, all raising major concerns of frostbite and pneumonia amongst the homeless population.
You can feel it just as soon as you walk outside, just to your car, to the trash can. I mean, it's freezing.
And with recent homeless sweeps in Salinas.
How do they stay warm? If they don't have a blanket, if they don't have something over their head, a tarp, a tent?
There are shelters you can go to.
Where we're at right now is a center where people who are experiencing homelessness can come during the day. They can get a hot shower, warm food, and wash their clothes.
At night, if the shelters are full, temperatures reach below 45 degrees and rain is in the forecast, then homeless service providers will give out free hotel vouchers.
We're actually able to give out vouchers to people who can't find a space in a shelter so they could stay at a hotel room for a night during the weather.
Yet many still feel like there are not enough resources.
It's still early right now, so it's not even really windy, so it's gonna get colder, you know? It doesn't stop right here, it's gonna get colder.
Right now, temperatures are not low enough on the Monterey Peninsula where that Salvation Army was for those hotel vouchers to be passed out. However, if an area is experiencing severe enough conditions, the Coalition of Homeless Services Providers will begin to try and pass out those vouchers. Reporting in Salinas, I'm Zoe Hunt, KSBW Action News 8.
My name is Wes White, co-president of the Salinas Monterey County Homeless Union.
And so we were talking earlier about how these cold temperatures are impacting the homeless population. What does that kind of look like?
The cold temperatures itself, I mean, you can feel it just as soon as you walk outside, just to your car, to the trash can. I mean, it's freezing unless you got a jacket on. And also your legs, you gotta need something for your legs. So, you know, you're gonna need blankets, you're gonna need a jacket, you're gonna need a sleeping bag, a tent, something to tarp. Something to do over, and you know, a lot of people actually use stoves to keep warm, and fire, of course.
What are the main concerns when we see temperatures that are lower than 45, some even reaching into the 30s at night?
People can get frostbite, you know, no circulation to their toes or something, their fingers, and if they're using it, you know, dexterity things, then you could end up bleeding or worse. Pneumonia happens even with no rain, a little bit of wind. And if you don't have anything, we just had a sweep on the 4th, which was the 5th, which was the Thursday, and the city has been coming relentlessly every day, taking all of their belongings. So how do they stay warm? If they don't have a blanket, if they don't have something over their head, a tarp, a tent, you know, all this stuff that they spent money, you know, buying. And it's just gone. So I think that's the hardest thing, walking around knowing that you're a target, a constant target, no matter where you're at, which is the whole point of trying to hide. And how do you stay warm? There's alcohol, I guess. You know, it makes you feel warm anyway. Whether or not you're actually warmer is not it. But people have to do something.
Yeah, for resources like warming centers, shelters, how available are those actually to the population?
Well, you know, we used to have a warming shelter right here at the Armory, and then it turned into the old Sizzler at TMZ building, where the railroad track is, the train station. And then we came up with the Share Center, and then we quit. So we don't have an overnight warming shelter. I mean, there is Victory Mission that's been there reliable. There is the Navigation Center, but that's pretty well always packed, and a waiting list. Share Center is certainly a year-long waiting list. So we don't have a place for families, you know, single couples, any kind of family dynamics, people with pets. They actually had that over here at the West Salinas warming shelter, you know, and that was a major change and major step that morphed into the Share Center, and then we quit.
And we were talking earlier about hotel vouchers. What are kind of the criteria in order to have those go into effect?
For like an activation of inclement weather is like 45 degrees or less, and rain, or like a frost advisory, and those will get you into those areas. Like Pajaro last night was down to like 34, and King City was at 39. Salinas was at 40, Monterey at 44. So those are all, seriously cold. I know a few years ago in Monterey, it was 28 degrees, and there was a man that had passed outside that I guess the police had offered him like a blanket or something. He refused, but and some of that is lack of trust, lack of boundaries. So again, if we're here to support people, then they should be able to maintain the possessions they already have, and be allowed some space, some personal space, living space, 24 hours a day, every day of the year, especially if they're signing up for services, because there should be some kind of fiduciary responsibility. I know who you are, I know what you need, I can't provide it, and in the meantime, I got to give you a pass.
Anything you would like to see done with the city here in Salinas, whether in general or with these current cold temperatures we're seeing?
Well, I know a lot of people are doing like blanket drives and stuff, and the other impact to that is once they get it, how do they keep it? And so that means stopping the sweeps, stopping just being robbed on the street by, legitimately by the police and Public Works, CalWorks, Caltrans, any jurisdiction, the sheriffs. They all, a lot of them, they don't even post a notice, which is still legal requirement. You're supposed to post a notice. You're supposed to provide people services. The Coalition of Homeless Service Providers and the Monterey County Homelessness Committee is actually concerned about making unifying direction between jurisdictions and service providers to actually complete fruition of service for folks who need housing and want housing to obtain housing, and hopefully not be traumatized consistently, repeatedly in the process.
Definitely.
Hand warmers and beanies, at least, blankets, tent and tarps are probably some of the most things that we need right now. Kitchen, porta potties. You could always advocate for porta potties and dumpsters. Access and vouchers for whatever showers. There's quite a few truck stops that have showers. The city pool has showers. There are places that if health and safety is our main concern, then laundry and showers needs to be a basic, essential part of the services.
My name is Demond Harris, and I'm homeless, and I live in my van, and I experience the cold. Even if I'm in my van, it's very cold. So I can imagine for the people who don't have shelter or anything, and like Wes was saying, that the city comes through and they take people's stuff, and they took my stuff a couple times, and I never got reimbursed. Nobody's ever reached out to me. Nobody's ever tried to give me anything. It's just like they don't care. It's a part of the community that they don't worry about. And if you're worried about the people, you got to worry about everybody. And you got to find ways to help homeless people, mentally ill people, drug addicted people, whatever it may be. You got to find some way to help us or whatever. You can't just come through and then take our stuff and leave us with nothing, and then when we get more stuff, you come and take that too. We can't win. We don't get no help.
And you were saying even in your van, you're feeling those cold temperatures.
Yes.
Can't even imagine what the people not in vans are feeling.
Yeah, it's probably colder in the van because it's all metal around me. So,
Would you feel like more shelters or warming centers or resources like that being available would help you in your situation?
It would help me. It would help a lot of people. Because don't nobody want to be outside. You know what I'm saying? If there's somewhere to go, I'm pretty sure that people would go there. But they don't leave us nowhere to go. They offer us services and put us on a waiting list, and we don't hear from them for years or months, and then they can't get a hold of us or whatever, and they're not following up. And we can't follow up because we're on the streets. They're the one supposed to be doing the job for us. So they drop us, so we lose services. We got to start over, and it's just a never-ending story. It's a no-win battle. What are we gonna do? Who's gonna help us? Everybody knows somebody that's displaced or homeless.
Yeah, even tonight we're seeing temperatures below 45 degrees, getting into 30s in some places.
Yeah.
What are your concerns when the temperatures at night are hitting that low?
Well, my concerns is to find shelter and find lots of blankets and something to keep yourself warm, you know, and that's all, because it's still early right now, so it's not even really windy, so it's gonna get colder, you know. It's just, it doesn't stop right here, it's gonna get colder. I mean, we just need help, you know. The city of Salinas is, they say they wanna help, but they're not offering any. And if they are offering it, where is it at?